The Statler Towers. Any comment on the Statler Towers?
Well, my comment on the Statler is I do believe that Mr. Croce has a workable plan. And as we know, he's been in discussions with the city on some possible financial assistance to stabilize that building. It is a historic building. Right now, it's an eyesore in that it's fenced off. It's right across from our recently renovated convention center. We've got to take positive steps, and I'm optimistic that the conversations between Mayor Brown and his administration and Mr. Croce will succeed. But at this point, the county is not an active player in this, but we are seeing some encouraging signs, and I'll just hold out that optimism.
With this being so close to the convention center, is there any way that you can possibly put yourself in line and possibly take it over or be a partner with others?
At this point, this is a city property, and unfortunately, if it goes down the wrong road, it may end up being a financial burden on the city of Buffalo. There is a future role if it gets stabilized and moved forward, and we've had discussions with Mr. Croce about a future role down the road where that building could serve some overflow convention needs, even to the point of having hotels, but that's years down the road. At this point, the key is to stabilize the building so it's safe. We can take down the barricades and at least have some activity on the first 2 floors so visitors don't see a boarded up building, which frankly is a bit of an embarrassment in Western New York.
And your thoughts on the hockey tournament? Are you glad to see out-of-towners in and spending money and all that kind of stuff?
Oh, the World Juniors has been a very successful, sold-out way to showcase Western New York. And sure, we've heard a few complaints here and there, but I think what most people are finding out about Western New York, it's easy to get around. We have great restaurants. There actually is quite a bit to do. This is a Sabres run event. They put the money up to bring them in, and so the Sabres are the lead agency. The Convention and Visitors Bureau has played a support role where requested, and we've been active in that. I think right now we're looking forward to that January 5th gold medal game. Personally, I'm looking forward to dropping the puck that night. That's going to be a thrill to be able to do, and I think we'll chalk this up to a very successful event here in Western New York.
Would you have liked to have seen the CVB take a bigger role in this?
No. Again, this is a Sabres run event.
Right.
I think it's important to keep in mind that the Convention and Visitors Bureau takes the lead in renting out the convention center and things of that sort. But when it comes to an outside tournament such as this, where the Sabres put down millions of dollars and it's their money on the line, the Sabres asked the CVB to assist in certain ways. We did 100% of what the Sabres asked us to do. But this is a Sabres run event. It's not a CVB run event. And so it would be totally inappropriate had the CVB stepped in and tried to say to the Sabres, do this, or something else. That would have been completely inappropriate. We were a support agency.
Because the reason I asked that, Chris, is because the NCAAs, people kind of compare the NCAAs to this event, and it seemed like the CVB took a bigger role in the NCAAs than they're taking in this event. But are they similar events?
They're similar events. This is a much longer event. When the NCAAs come in, they're here for a few days, not for this extended period of time of a week and a half. I think you're going to see on New Year's Eve, I think we'll see at the Electric Tower just a tremendous turnout, probably a record turnout. Because to the best of my knowledge, we've never had something like this going on New Year's Eve. So this will go down as a very successful event. Disappointed sometimes to hear people take pot shots at us. Sometimes we are our own worst enemy. We have so much to celebrate in Western New York, and too often we will dwell on some small negative. I would hope people can see beyond that. And again, in this case, the CVB as a support agency did absolutely everything that the Sabres asked us to do, and it's a successful event.
Do you have any numbers coming in, or is it too early for people to stay at the hotels and spent the money downtown and throughout the county?
It's too early to tell. I mean, we've heard the numbers. It could be as much as $100 million event relative to the length of time and everything going on. We've heard the hotels are sold out, so and the games are as well. So from that standpoint, I don't think you could ask for much more than sold out hotels and sold out games. And you know, we've heard many of the restaurants that would be slow this time of the year are quite busy. So I think it is a successful event. Will go down as such.
Something on an unrelated topic concerning the layoffs. Like come Monday, just the amount of people that were laid off on the security end. Is there any concerns about securing the building, at the Rath building, with the amount of the fewer people that there are there to actually guard the building?
Well, yeah, I'd like to clarify that. Unfortunately, there were 223 workers laid off, a total of 410 jobs eliminated in the budget. These are very difficult times, and we've had to swallow hard as we've had to cut back, and I certainly recognize the challenges these folks face. When it comes to security, one of the cuts we made were significantly reducing the number of armed sheriff's deputies in the Rath building. We cut back 11 armed deputies, but we still have 3 patrolling that building, which we feel is sufficient. We have a substation right there in the Rath building. We also have non-uniformed civilian guards in the building. So we are actually comfortable that we've got the proper level of security. The clinic downtown, we use an outside security agency, given the types of medications and drugs that are on site, so that is secure. I think what you heard is any time there's a cut in jobs, those people losing their jobs will step forward and try to paint the worst case. That either work won't be done or there's other issues that the public should be concerned about. And I understand that's a typical human reaction, but we looked at this in depth. We talked to our Commissioner of Social Services, and we're actually working on other ways to deliver service to the public where they're not going to even have to come into the building. So all in all, no, we have armed guards, we have a substation, sheriff's substation in the building. I'm comfortable that security is not an issue.
And Chris, just one more question on the hockey. Are you satisfied that the snow didn't damper, you know, negative feelings, just in case we may have gotten the snow what New York City did? Would you have to have, you know, extra planning just in case we would have had a snowstorm with all these extra people coming into town?
Well, one thing about Western New York, we are ready for snow, and I think you've seen that anytime we've been hit, whether it's some of the blizzards in the past or otherwise. No, we were ready for that. We would have called out, you know, the county would have assisted the city to make sure that the roads were passable to the extent the city might have asked for our help if it was a major blizzard. No, we are ready for snow. Okay, thanks everybody.
Thanks.